You'd have to be crazier than L. Ron Hubbard to still be carrying around one of these big, fat, chunky wallets in your pocket. What you need is one of these bad boys from my newest sponsor, Ridge. Check out Ridge's wallets and their key cases at ridge.com/AARon. The Ridge wallet holds up to 12 cards, easy to pop them out, easy to pop them in, keeps your cash secure, and the key case keeps my keys from scratching my phone in my pocket. People ask me how they can support the channel. One of the ways to do that is by supporting our sponsors. So check out Ridge's wallets and key cases at ridge.com/AARon to get their best offer of up to 40% off until December 22nd. Now let's talk about Tom Cruise and Shelly Miscavige. So here's the news, and then I'll give you the context. The news is that Scientology has finally announced, it took them 2 months to make this announcement, that Shelly Miscavige and Tom Cruise are not available for a Scientology arbitration. All right, so what the hell am I talking about? So here's the context, here's the setup. Back before David Miscavige shipped his wife off to Neverland, his wife Shelly Miscavige worked at Scientology's confidential international management base. Well, when she was working there, the person who was assigned to be Shelly's assistant was a woman named Valerie Haney. Now in 2016, sometime after Shelly Miscavige had already been shipped off, Val escaped from Scientology's international base in the trunk of a car. Some of you might already know, at Scientology's international base, there is a movie production studio called Golden Era Productions that Scientology runs. And sometimes Scientology will bring non-Scientologist actors to the base, to act in TV spots or commercials or films specifically for internal Scientology use. Well, one of these actors had gone to the base for a shoot, and Val jumped into the trunk without this actor's knowledge. And literally, that's how she escaped from the international base. She hid in the trunk of a non-Scientologist who was there shooting a film, and that's how she got out of there. So Val left Scientology. When Leah Remini found out that she'd made this great escape, Leah hired Val to be Leah's own assistant. Shortly thereafter, Val filed a civil lawsuit against Scientology, against David Miscavige, for various claims. I believe it's centered around labor trafficking and other such related issues. Well, many of you might know that Scientologists, particularly the staff members and the Sea Org members, they sign agreements over and over and over again, promising to never sue Scientology for any reason whatsoever. These are called the arbitration agreements. And various courts have mostly upheld the validity of these agreements. In Val's case, a judge here in Tampa, near where I live, ruled that Valerie was not allowed to sue Scientology, and she had to subject herself to Scientology's own BS brand of internal religious arbitration. The court and Scientology, whatever, agreed on a procedure, and Val is supposed to select one of the arbitrators, Scientology is supposed to select one of the other arbitrators, and then those two arbitrators select a third arbitrator. And yet all of the arbitrators have to be Scientologists in good standing. Even though Val is the declared suppressive person and expelled from Scientology, she's supposed to trust that these three Scientologists in good standing are going to be fair and balanced. It's a total crock. So anyway, Valerie's first move here was to nominate actress Scientologist Elizabeth Moss to be one of the arbitrators. Scientology very quickly got back to Val and said they checked with Elizabeth Moss and she was unavailable. So, so Valerie's next move was to go, oh, okay, well, how about Tom Cruise and Shelly Miscavige? Why don't you check and see if they're available? I would like one of them to be one of my arbitrators that I select. Now, the Scientology official responsible for approving these arbitrators to interacting with Valerie, his name is Mike Ellis. And here you can see a photo of this lovely gentleman, presumably on his way to go rob a bakery. And well, here you can see another photo of him, I guess, on his getaway vehicle. There's a Dunkin' Donuts in the background. Oh my God, you could not have scripted that any better. Okay, so that's Mike Ellis. Mike Ellis took 2 months to respond to Valerie's request about Tom Cruise and Shelly Miscavige. And that is what we're talking about here today, because Scientology's response is part of the court record, and this is being reported on over at the Underground Bunker blog. What strikes me is the whining quality of the response from Scientology. So take a look at it. Here's what it says on the blog. Nearly 2 months later, Ellis finally sent a response. It starts out by complaining that Valerie's letter was an insert in a cover letter from her attorney. Ellis chastises her for this, reminding her that according to Scientology ethics and justice procedures, procedures. She's supposed to be communicating with him directly and without an attorney's help. Isn't that kind of amazing? Valerie is literally not supposed to be allowed to be using an attorney. It's unbelievable that the courts, the U.S. court system, permits such a thing to occur. After that wine, Ellis gets to the point. Through the attorney letter, you provided the names of 2 prominent Scientologists to serve as your arbitrators. You or your agents provided that letter to the media, causing lurid coverage by tabloids and an anti-Scientology blogger. Neither your second nor third choice of arbitrator are available, and given your penchant for leaking to the media, I am not providing you with the reasons. Nobody will be willing to sit as an arbitrator if he or she will be the subject of your publicity machinations. Again, how can anyone pretend, and by anyone, all I really care about is the U.S. court system. How can anyone pretend that this arbitration process is fair and acceptable and meets any reasonable standard of what an arbitration is supposed to be? You have the guy telling her that if she keeps speaking publicly to the press, which is completely her right, no Scientologist is going to be willing to participate. Well, whose problem is that? It's like Scientology is really sitting over there going, you're going to do exactly what we want you to do, exactly how we want you to do it, or nothing at all is going to happen whatsoever. The last time one of these Scientology arbitrations actually played out was with a former Scientologist named Luis Garcia. Now, Luis Garcia happens to also be the president of the Aftermath Foundation. The Aftermath Foundation is a nonprofit that helps people escape from Scientology. The very foundation that I keep plugging these adorable little Mike Rinder bobbleheads. Go and get your bobbleheads at the spshop.com. All proceeds go to help the Aftermath Foundation. But anyway, getting back to the point, Luis Garcia also subjected himself to the Scientology arbitration process at the order of a federal court, and it was a complete joke. Luis went there with his attorney. His attorney was not allowed to enter the building, much less the room. Luis brought a ton of evidence to present as evidence in the arbitration process. Mike Ellis threw away 99% of it. Luis was not permitted to record the proceedings, even though Scientology recorded the proceedings. The entire thing is just an absolute joke and an absolute sham. The fact that the courts continue to uphold the enforceability of Scientology's arbitration agreements is just a real miscarriage of justice. And in fact, there is a current civil lawsuit. It's Baxter and Paris versus David Miscavige Scientology et al., where this arbitration clause is currently, the enforceability of it is currently under review. And we are literally right now waiting for the judge's decision on whether this might be the first civil case against Scientology. And this case is regarding labor trafficking. This just might be the first civil case that I'm aware of where the enforceability of the arbitration agreements is thrown out on the basis that they're signed under duress. It is kind of remarkable that at the exact same time that Valerie Haney is being forced to subject herself to this incredibly unfair and abusive process, you have 3 other former Sea Org members who just might, fingers crossed, just might be able to actually get their day in court. So the next thing that we're expecting to happen in the Valerie Haney case is she needs to propose yet another Scientologist to possibly serve as an arbitrator. Let me know in the comments section down below, guys, what other high-profile, famous Scientologists might Valerie Haney select? Whichever guess in the comments down below gets the most likes, I'm going to ship you your very own Mike Rinder bobblehead. This is a little test. I put it at the end of the video so that only people who watched until the end know what the game is. So it's not which comment gets the most likes. It's which comment about the next potential proposed arbitrator gets the most likes is going to get a Mike Rinder bobblehead. All right, everyone. Oh, by the way, and you can get your Mike Rinder bobbleheads once again at the spshop.com. All proceeds go to help people who are escaping from Scientology. The proceeds go to the Aftermath Foundation. Mike Rinder is a board member of the Aftermath Foundation, as am I. And by the way, also, as is Mark Headley, who's just getting his own YouTube channel launched and going. I recommend you to go check out Blown for Good, Mark Headley's YouTube channel. All right, that's enough plugs for one video. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Thanks to everyone who watches until the very end, and I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not, subscribe right here. Bye.